Ursula K. LeGuin's The Dispossessed. There was a wall. It did not look important. It was built of uncut rocks, roughly mortared. An adult could look right over it, and even a child could climb it. Where it crossed the roadway, instead of having a gate, it degenerated into a mere geometry, a line, an idea of boundary. But the ideal was real. It was important. For just 7 generations, there had been nothing in the world more important than that wall. Like all walls, it was ambiguous, two-faced. What was inside it and what was outside depended upon which side of it you were on. Looked at from one side, the wall was enclosed a barren 60-acre field called the Port of Arnis. On the field there were a couple of large gantry cranes and a rocket pad, 3 warehouses, a garbage truck, and a dormitory. The dormitory looked durable, grimy, and mournful. It had no garden, no children. Plainly, nobody lived there, or was even meant to stay there long. It was, in fact, a quarantine. The wall shut in not only the landing field, but also the ships that came down out of the space, and the men that came on those ships, and the worlds they came from, the rest of the universe. It enclosed the universe, leaving Arnes outside, free. Looked at from the other side, the wall was enclosed Arnes. The whole planet was inside it, a great prison camp, cut off from other worlds and other men in quarantine. A number of people coming along the road toward the landing field or standing around where the rough cut road through the wall. People often came from the nearby city of Albany in hopes of seeing a spaceship, or simply to see the wall. After all, it was the only boundary wall on their world. Nowhere else could see a sign that said no trespassing. Adolescents particularly were drawn to it. They came up to the wall, they sat on it. And there might be a gang to watch, offloading cranes from track trucks at the warehouse. There might even be a freighter on the pad. Freighters came down only 8 times a year, unannounced except to syndics actually working at the port. So the spectators were lucky enough to see one. They were excited at first. But there they sat, and there they sat. A squat black tower and a mess of movable cranes, away off across the field. And then a woman came over from one of the warehouse crews and said, "We're shutting down today, brothers." She was wearing the defense armband, a sight almost as rare as a spaceship. That was a bit of a thrill. But through her tone was mild, it was final. She was the foreman of the gang, and it provoked would-be's backed up by her cynic. And anyhow, there wasn't anything to see. The aliens, the off-worlders, stayed hidden in their ships. No show. It was a dull show for the defense crew, too. Sometimes the foreman wished that somebody would just try to cross the wall. An alien crew member jumping ship, or a kid from Albany trying to sneak in for a closer look at the freighter. It would never happen. Nothing ever happened. When something did happen, she wasn't ready for it. The captain of the freighter, mindful, said to her, "Is that mob after my ship?" The foreman looked and saw that in fact there was a real crowd around the gate. 100 or more people. They were standing around, just standing, the way people stood at produce train stations during the famine. It gave the foreman a scare. "No, Protest, she said in her slow, limited Lantic. Protest. Yeah, passenger. You mean they're after this bastard we're supposed to take away? They're going to try to stop him or us? The word bastard, untranslatable in the foreman's language, meant nothing to her, except some kind of foreign term for her people. But she never liked the sound of it, and the captain's tone, or the captain. Can you look after you? She asked briefly. 5 minutes. Boy, I'm sorry, guys. Let's try it, huh?